Hello, everyone. Welcome to a super edition of Socially Awkward. It's episode 10, and it's Super Bowl week. This is Brewster Stanislaw, and I'm Joey Calkins. We're the co-founders of Inside Social, and we're especially excited this week because we are a Seattle company, and so we're obviously very interested in the outcome, hoping that the Hawks will pull it out. But this week is not just huge because of the upcoming game, but of what happens in between the action, which is the ads and just in general the enormous marketing opportunity around the Super Bowl. So we're going to talk about some of the implications for digital marketing and social media. Try and get through 5 topics in 5 minutes as always. And we'll kick it off right now. Let's go. So to start with, one of the exciting things that always happens during the Super Bowl, I should say always recently, is real-time marketing. Sort of the highlight of this, or the one that got so much buzz around it, was a few years ago when there was a blackout during the game and Oreo had a famous tweet about being able to dunk in the dark. What do you think about real-time marketing and social media during the Super Bowl?
I mean, I think it's hugely important, and I think it's a big part of one of the trends that we talk about often, which is second screening, right? And last year in the Super Bowl, I think it was something like 50% of people were also on a smartphone, and you can expect that number to be even higher this year. So people are engaging digitally while they're watching the game, whether it's to check scores, see what their friends are Instagramming about the game, or anything really. And so it's a great time to engage with them and supplement that viewing experience.
What do you think the keys are to doing it well?
So, I mean, there's a lot. I think it's really understanding segmentation, which is something we'll talk about a little bit later, I think, in this discussion. But also understanding the right tone and the right timing, right? So it's really trying to make yourself a part of the conversation the same way you would if you were a friend, to be funny, to be playful, to really fit into, a Super Bowl party.
Yeah. I think it really depends on the social media teams maybe more than ever, because you have to be quick and you have to be on it, and there's definitely been some hits and misses in the past, so we'll look for that as well. All right, moving on to the next subject. First time ever that the Super Bowl is being streamed. NBC has coverage this year, and the whole thing will be online. What does that mean for marketing?
Well, I mean, I think if you didn't realize that digital video is really important, you probably should now, right? So if you're only thinking about, from a video advertising perspective, you're only thinking about TV as your medium, you're missing a huge opportunity, because digital video is the future. It's not the future to come. It's here right now. Yeah. And you're going to see more and more consumers taking in content that way, and especially live content. I think we saw it with the World Cup. Obviously, we're seeing it with the Super Bowl. And if brands really want to be where their consumers are and want to be engaging and interacting with them in the ways that those consumers are doing themselves, they have to be in digital video.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a little scared that things will crash, but hopefully not. I know they're expecting the biggest viewership in streaming ever, so hopefully they're prepared. So next, can't talk about the Super Bowl without talking about advertisements. Obviously, social kind of changes things when it comes to the life of Super Bowl ads. It's always been 30 seconds for $3 million, or whatever the crazy amount is. How has this changed things?
So because of digital, right, like you can actually create build-up into your Super Bowl spot, and you're seeing a lot more brands actually pre-releasing. They're either doing teasers or the full spot, and they're creating buzz. And what that does is it turns the Super Bowl, which is one finite event, into a time period when you can engage and activate consumers and actually make a campaign out of this. And then another key part that I think advertisers sometimes forget about, it's not just about the build-up, but it's also about capitalizing after, right? And so you're actually, if you have a great Super Bowl spot and you're driving people digitally, you now may have a whole new audience, right? And so there's all kinds of retargeting you can do about consumers that brought you to the Super Bowl because of whatever your spot was. So it's really about understanding that whole consumer life cycle, not just as one event, using the big TV spot, right, as the centerpiece, the tent pole, but using all the little digital snippets or the digital little bite-sized pieces to supplement that, I think.
So it's not $3 million for 30 seconds anymore. It's a whole lifespan of an ad campaign.
Yeah.
Cool. So sticking with social media ads, Facebook introduced sort of hyper-targeting around specific segments of fan audiences. Specifically that you can target people based on what kind of beer they like, what teams they're fans of. I mean, what do you think we have to know here?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is hugely powerful. So I talked a little bit how do you be successful and it's about segmenting earlier, right? Like you want to give a very different message when the Seahawks are up 30 points to your victorious Seahawks fans who should be drinking, a Bud Light because it's a celebration, to your Patriots fans who are down 30.
You said victorious Seahawks.
Oh, so I couldn't help it. The Patriots fan who's just drinking just to console themselves. Yeah. So it's really important that you understand the mindset with the right content for the right people, and being able to target people not just on their interests, right, but actually the content they're engaging with. That's the really important part I think about Facebook's new targeting, is that if I see as an advertiser that you're someone who's engaging with party content, right? Like I can show you the right advertisement that meets that need. And you can do that for everything, just based on how people are engaging in real time, which is as sophisticated, I think, as advertising has ever been.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last question. So interestingly, not a Super Bowl advertiser, Volvo, has thrown their hat into the ring in kind of an exciting, different way. They're trying to hijack some Super Bowl advertising, or what they're calling intercepting. Obviously good for obvious reasons, but what they're doing is they're saying during a Super Bowl car ad that's obviously not their own, they're having people tweet a specific hashtag or share a specific hashtag and include their friend in it to try and win a Volvo. This is sort of a new kind of marketing, ambush marketing, so to speak. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a brilliant way to try and drive word of mouth, right? You have it at a time when you have an engaged audience that's actually looking to consume ads, which is rare, right, amongst consumers. So it's an audience that's already looking for this type of content, and if you can do the same kind of reach and get the same kind of exposure and engagement without spending the same kind of money, like if I do my long division right, that's really good ROI. So I think it's really smart. And I think, I mean, some of the other trends that you're seeing of sort of ambushing folks in real time, in social, I mean, you know, I already cited, but they're someone who's doing a really great job of this, and they've got their social media command centers. They've got 4 of them, right? So they're out there engaging in real time and trying to not ambush the conversation. I don't think they'd want us to say that, but really be a part of it, be the participant and sort of guide its direction. And that's a great campaign that BBDO has worked hard on. So excited to see what actually happens on Super Bowl day.
All right, so speaking of Super Bowl day, let's get to predictions. We both wrote down what we thought would happen. Why don't we go ahead and turn these over and see what we think?
Before we go with score, I want to make 2 other predictions.
Okay,
so Marshawn Lynch will score a touchdown, and we'll have a very, very, very respectful handshake as his celebration.
Yep.
And Richard Sherman will have an interception of Tom Brady and will be very disrespectful about it. And I will love both of those moments.
All right, let's go ahead and turn these over and see what we got. All right, let's see it. You've got, turn it a little bit, 24-20 Seahawks. I've got 27-16 Seahawks. I'll add one more thing to this. I think the Patriots will actually be leading at halftime, so we're going to see another comeback for the Seahawks. And they'll end up winning comfortably, not by the blowout that they had last year, but a nice, comfortable 2-touchdown, 2-score win.
I like it. I'll take any win.
All right. Well, that's it for episode 10. Really exciting. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and can't help it. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.